right, so I suppose everybody's heard about Iran shooting down one of our drones. What I thought was interesting is I got a quote here, or a tweet from Donald Trump. He said, on Monday, they shot down an unmanned drone flying in international waters. We were cocked and loaded to retaliate last night on 3 different sites. When I asked how many will die, 150 people, sir, was the answer from a general. 10 minutes before the strike, I stopped it. And then he continues on, and he says it wasn't proportionate to the shooting down. 150 lives wasn't proportionate to the shooting down of an unmanned drone. I am in no hurry. Our military is rebuilt, new, and ready to go. By far the best in the world. Sanctions are biting, and more added last night. Iran can never have a nuclear weapon, not against the USA, and not against the world, he says. What I thought was fascinating about that is it shows that Donald Trump cares about people's lives, even the lives of our enemy. And I think that's a good thing. At times, yeah, we do have to defeat our enemy in battle and in war, but if it's not needful, like here it was an unmanned drone, yeah, it's a lot of money, but is $150 million worth killing 150 people who have families and loved ones and things like that? So he's showing some grace even to our enemy, and I think the enemies will probably respect that. And no doubt when you watch this guy operate, he's not doing what his advisors always tell him to do, because he's an independent thinker. He goes off of his gut feeling, off of his street smarts and the such. And it made me think of a verse. I think we read it a couple weeks ago. In 1 Kings 4:29-30, it says, "And God gave Solomon wisdom and understanding, exceeding much, and largeness of heart, even as the sand that is on the seashore. And Solomon's wisdom excelled the wisdom of the children of the east country and all the wisdom of Egypt." I think that really fits Trump as far as, his wisdom far exceeds that of any other kings and rulers around the world, I believe. He's outsmarting everybody at every corner. And it's fascinating to see. You have all the neocons that were in the Republican Party. They're always for war. They always want to take down Iran. And they basically want to take down Iran for the nation of Israel. This whole war that they want to get in is always, let's take out Iran so that Israel can prosper. And I think they want to expand their borders. They call it the Greater Israel, from the biblical promise in the Old Testament. It said from the river of Egypt until the Euphrates, I think it was, if I remember right. That's a whole other topic for another time, but a lot of this stuff, a lot of this warmongering against Iran is usually because Israel wants us to go to war and wipe out Iran so that they can have a little bit more freedom to try to so-called achieve their promised land. Anybody have anything they want to say on that?
Yeah, part of me, does feel for Israel, because they are surrounded by enemies, and that would literally want to wipe them off the face of the earth. Right. And whether they're thinking that they're the chosen land that needs to expand and become a greater Israel, which I know we've talked about it. I don't know if they're the chosen land necessarily now. I think, like you've mentioned, I think we're the kind of the new Israel, if you will. I don't know if that's the best way of putting it, but so I think it's twofold. They have the right to exist, and their enemies do want to wipe them off the face of the earth. So, and they're an ally of ours, so I have no problem protecting Israel and aligning with Israel, but not just to go out and start destroying countries just because they think they're going to achieve some biblical, prophecy or something.
Right. Yeah, that's the tricky part. Yeah, you don't want a country shouldn't feel like they're under threat of nuclear attack all the time. But at the same time, are we at times, like against Iraq and things like that, are we going in and causing unnecessary wars and conflict? you know, without really achieving the objective that they're setting out to achieve. I don't know. It's interesting. It'd be fun to do a series of studies on that, but all right.